In this video, I'm going to install Astral to a brand new web application. So I've created a new Laravel application right here. And what I'd like to do is to have an incident banner at the top of it that gets displayed if something went wrong. For example, if our servers are down or if we have a problem contacting some of our providers, etc., etc. So if I go into code right here, I have already created an incident banner and I have a little toggle here that I can switch if I want to show it. So it will look something like this. Okay, so what I like to do is have a boolean that will toggle if this banner will be displayed or not, and some text that will be inserted inside that banner. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to our Astral application and let's start to create our first aspects. And aspects are basically any value that your application is going to be using. All right, so let's create our first one. We will call it incident mode enabled, and we will give it a unique slug for application, which we'll call incident.enabled, and that will be of type boolean. We'll save and we'll add another one, which will be incident text. And again, we need to give it a slug that is unique, so incident.text in that case. And now if we save, we can see our aspects being displayed here with their current values. All right, so now let's install Astral to our application so that we can start using those values. Because I'm using Laravel, I've got a very helpful Laravel package for it, which uses the Astral API and caches its results. Okay, so we'll start by installing the package. So I will copy this and then go to my terminal and paste that here. Next, we need to add our API key to our environment variables. So for that, we need to create an API key. So we go to our Astral dashboard, and under API tokens, we will add a demo API key, and we will copy this right here, and we will paste it in our code in our .env file right here under the Astral_API_key environment variable. Now, if I save this, it's going to work and we're going to be able to use Astral. However, we can scroll down a little bit and add support for webhooks. And what that's going to do is every time anything changes on Astral, anytime you update a value and you save it, it will send a webhook to your application to tell your application that something has changed. And at that point, and that point only, you can refresh the cache and get new values from Astral. This ensures that your application stays performant and doesn't make unnecessary API calls. So let's do this. I am going to copy that line here and add it to my route file right here. And I'm going to import the Astral facade right at the top here. Now we are almost done, but for this to work, we need to go back to our Astral application and tell it to send webhooks to that URL that we've just defined. So what I'll do is I'll copy my base URL here and I'll update dashboard to Astral/webhook, which is exactly what we set up right here. Now, if I create that webhook, we should be all set up. Concretely, what that means is we can go back to our application under that incident banner, for example, and we can actually start using Astral values as if they were available in our application. So right here, instead of just saying true or false, I can say Astral, and then I can enter that slug that was unique to our application. So in that case, that was incident.enabled. And we can do the exact same thing for that text right here. So we can replace that text with Astral, and then that slug was incident.text. Now, if I save this and I go back to my application right here, it's not going to show our banner because that value here is false on our dashboard. But now, if I toggle that to true and say hello from Astral here, and I save that, that will now send a webhook to my application in real time. And now if I refresh, it still doesn't show it, because if we look at our logs right here, you can see that Astral tried to send us a webhook, but we received a 419, which basically is a CSRF token exception. So that's a Laravel problem And as you can see in this package right here, you can just go around this by adding that route in the verify CSRF token accepts array. So let me just go and do that real quick. I'll go to verify CSRF token and I'll add that right here. And now if I go back to Astral and change the values again, so hello from Astral again, and save that, then that time it is going to send a webhook successfully. And that means that if I refresh my web application, we should now see the banner and the text that we've entered on Astral. And that's it. Now this part of the application is completely controllable without touching any code. So if I decide that now the incident has been resolved, I can close that boolean, save it, and when I go back to my web application, the incident banner has disappeared without touching one single line of code. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it.